Welcome back. Well, the market is holding on quite okay, 19,550. A lot of stocks actually buzzing around. And as I was talking about some of these tech platform companies, Infibeam, for instance, is up around 13%. eClerx from the tech companies is up around 9%. Angel One is high by around 7%. You also have names like Zomato, Nazara Tech, as well as Naukri, which are all higher by anywhere between 5 to 10%. So definitely a lot of momentum as far as this entire digital kind of plays are concerned. All of these stocks trending higher. But within this digital arena, Dipan, which is the stock that you like the most? Is it the usual candidate, the likes of Nazara and Zomato?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having our show. I think Zomato is the top of the list over there because clearly they are seeing a way forward to profitability. Already the food business is turned profitable, EBITDA positive, and the quick service or the home delivery business that I think is a few quarters away, but it is showing some promise. And the whole approach of the management is to ensure that it's a solidly profitable company. And now analysts are seeing the visibility also that assuming growth rates are maintained the way they are, it is not too difficult to see that in the foreseeable future, this will be a highly profitable company and it will have several entry barriers and very deep moats because of the business model.
Depends on what's adding to the cheer in the market. It's not the rains in Mumbai. I guess it's the World Cup fervor. But that aside, you think we're now getting too sensitive to the way the US yield has been moving? I mean, the fact that it retreated overnight and quite sizably so, that's clearly rubbing off on India and our markets too.
See, I think in the domestic market, and there's hardly any news flow, and there are hardly any triggers on the positive or the negative side. Of course, there's a big event tomorrow, that being the credit policy. So I think traders are generally following the global trends in the short term. And as and when you are seeing an upswing over there, we are seeing follow-up buying taking place over here and vice versa. My sense is that this will continue till perhaps middle of October or thereabouts. And when the earnings season starts, that's when I think we will see the real impact of corporate earnings having on stock price. And then you may have a particular trend breakout on the upside or the downside. But from the time being, I think we are in a bit of a quiet period. And more or less, I think all the early disclosures as regards how the September quarter has gone are over and done with and more or less discounted. So this is a quiet period where we may see sideways movement for some more trading sessions. But let's gear up for the exciting news flow on cricket front as well as on corporate earnings once we cross middle of October.
Spile tells me that you're already watching a few matches, got the tickets booked, hotels, flights, everything done.
Yes, absolutely. And it was quite a challenge. But, I'm a great cricket fan, and with great difficulty, we have got match tickets and the hotel booking and the flight booking. I think this is going to be a great, great quarter for hotels as well as airlines. I think everything is completely booked up and they are beyond the maximum price that you would pay for a hotel room or a flight. So it's going to be great yields for hotel companies as well as airline companies. And of course, I think there are associate businesses like Jubilant Foodworks or Devyani International. I heard you discuss that company as well. Maybe even consumption of alcohol, consumption of soft drinks. I think we are readying ourselves for a fabulous festival as well as a cricket season.
Dipan, tell me you've got the Ahmedabad tickets for India-Pakistan done.
Keep our fingers crossed. I have got the ticket, but it's not in my hand. I just got a confirmation. That's all. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, as I said.
Wow, you're everyone's envy right here, right, Kana?
Well, let's not come back to
He's your best friend, yeah.
I think Dipan is now my best friend.
Yeah, maybe you could do barter, considering you have a place to stay. All the hotels are booked. So, yeah.
You offer him the place to stay, he can offer you the ticket. Yeah. Lovely barter.
But anyway, LIC, that's the one stock which is in focus right now. I mean, it's been a rank underperformer. It's almost replicating what ITC did till about 2 or 3 years back. But it seems that they're going to soon do a second round of non-deal roadshows to convince global investors that its current market value is much less than what its real worth is. In fact, we're picking up some deals on what this roadshow is going to be all about, where all it's going to be. Anurag Shah, my colleague, is here with all the details. Anurag, what are you picking up?
So LIC top brass is enthusiastic with PM Modi's appreciation on LIC's performance at Parliament, and as per our sources now, LIC is planning second round of non-deal global roadshows, and this time in Singapore and USA. And so non-deal roadshows are mainly aimed to create awareness among global investors about the LIC's potential. As we know that in month of June also LIC has done roadshows in Hong Kong and UK to show the potential about the LIC, and LIC has a strong network. LIC believes that they have a 25 crore policy holders, huge agent network, and sovereign guarantee. It has a huge potential and strength to show, and still after the opening up of private after the opening up of 23 years of private sector, LIC still account for 63% of new business premium as of March 2023 figure, despite the tough competition. So all these factors are inculcated by the LIC management, and the recent appreciation by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the Parliament about the strength of LIC. So now LIC is planning for second round of non-deal global roadshow, this time in Singapore and USA.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on LIC. But do you really think, Dipan, this would be enough to kind of, pique the interest of institutional investors, whether FIIs or DIIs? Because many of them have actually burned their hands at the time of IPO.
Yeah, absolutely. First, a disclosure that we are not clients on LIC, and I think your colleague did a fantastic job in terms of explaining the investment rationale. I just want to add one more thing though, that LIC's enterprise value, the adjusted enterprise value, which is the main data point for any valuation matrix for an insurance company, that is very sensitive to stock market moves. And from June to September, stocks have really moved up sizably and given great returns. Of course, we are facing a slight correction at this point of time. So that will certainly have a very positive impact on the enterprise value of LIC. And I suspect that it is the discount to its enterprise value to market cap may only increase. And we are in a situation where public sector undertakings are the flavor of the season. And I think LIC is perhaps the last kind of stocks which perhaps have not moved up in line with the kind of interest we have seen in the PSU stocks. So I'm very positive on LIC. Not only is it a great trading bet, but also I think a great long-term investment. You could expect a one-time adjustment in its price to EV per share, and that may happen as early as end of next month or so.
Let's talk about also the all-important event tomorrow. That's the MPC. It's a status quo that everyone on the street is anticipating. But Dipan, from a market perspective, what's the commentary, or rather, what from the commentary would you look out for?
So I think it'll be a kind of a non-event, I hope. And basically, the RBI committee will just reiterate what they have said for the last 2-3 committee meetings. I hope there's no major surprise over there and the status quo is maintained, because I think we are seeing oil prices also correct, and that's very positive from inflation perspective. And as such, I think there are no major developments on the banking front or the inflation front since the last meeting. So I expect it to be a non-event. Of course, we'll keep on analyzing what the statement is all about to see for any signals as to what the future course of action would be. But by and large, I think it's not going to make much of a difference to stock prices in the near term.
But Kunal, you've been quite positive on Anant Raj, right? That stock is up almost 7-8% right now. And what about Marico? It continues to slide. One was assuming that they would be buying at lower levels, but not at all.
Yeah, Marico is a bit of a, I think, knee-jerk price action for the stock, of course, on the back of the news flow. But then, even at current levels, I would believe that the stock, could probably see some bit of more selling. So, the stock opened with a gap down, mild gap down, and then we've seen further selling for the stock price. That generally indicates that it's been more of delivery-based selling throughout the day for Marico, and that generally is an indication that more selling could be at play for the stock over the near term. But Anant Raj, I think, is a classical case of a breakout, a change of trend. The stock from 140-50 levels, where we discussed first, I think that was a point of a very strong breakout for the stock mid of the previous year, and from there it's just moved on to stage by stage movement on the upside. 175 was the first hurdle for the stock price, then 210 to 15 was the previous high. Even in the last 2-3 weeks, the stock had consolidated at this 220 odd marks. So I think 220, 205 was the range broadly for Anant Raj. And today again we've seen a breakout happening for the stock. So it's a classical sign that the stock could be, or the trend for the stock is here to sustain. We should see more upside for the stock. So riding the trend for the stock over the near to medium term at least.
Dipan, what's the best play around premium realty?
I think macrotech developers, you've been reading the news, the pink papers, the way the sales are taking place in the South Mumbai properties. That really, I think, is something which we did not anticipate. And this is one company which has got a lot of land bank within Mumbai, South Mumbai, and a lot of opportunities are also opening up on the redevelopment side. So, while it may appear to be at slight premium to its net asset value, but that is continuously growing also on account of new projects. So, from that point of view, most positive on macro tech developers. If I have to select one company, again, disclosure required only.
Taken. So Macrotech Developers is of course one stock that you like from the luxury real estate play. In terms of what else is happening in the market, well, not 19,550 thereabouts is what we have been toying around throughout the trading session. Within the sectors, if you're looking for top gainers, it continues to be the media space led by Nazara, Sun TV, etc. Autos is also doing quite okay with the uptick in Bajaj Auto. Balkrishna Industries was what is seeing a bit of a profit booking is the PSU banking space. So PNB, Union Bank, Central Bank are coming under pressure. Dipan, for the banking space and especially the PSU banking names, do you think it's prudent to take maybe 25-30% profit off the table?
No, not really. I think you just watch this earnings season. It will be fantastic for PSU banks. And you may see a re-rating, a process of re-rating which is underway. It may only gather pace. So very positive on PSU banks, a good trading rally over there. So just because they've run up so much, there's no reason for us to sell the PSU stocks. I think overall they are showing good credit growth as well. And all the other parameters, be it CASA, NPA, gross as well as net, those are continuously improving. And the most important development or trend I see in the PSU banks is their focus on retail lending, which is far more safer than the kind of corporate lending and the infra project that they were lending to. I think those days are well behind them. So very positive on PSU stocks. And you could go for even the smaller ones, the Bank of Maharashtra, Union Bank of India, UCO Bank. I think they're still trading below book value. And that gap is certainly likely to get closed pretty soon.
Okay, that's the take coming in and what the banks are doing. Kunal, outside the set of PSBs, where is it that you find strength or one can go long, at least in the near term?
In the banks?
Yeah.
RBL Bank is something which looks very attractive. So even though I think the stock is down today 0.5%, 1%, but on the charts, I think it's been a phenomenal comeback for RBL Bank this year from 185 odd levels to 250 plus mark or 240 plus mark where the stock is right now. It's been a very good comeback for the stock. Bandhan Bank is surprisingly a bit of a struggle. The stock has into a bit of its short-term uptrend, but it's seen a lot of negative news flow for itself. I think that's hampering the trend for Bandhan Bank. From the other names on the banking names, I think Federal Bank is something which has been a very slow, consistent and a strong performer. I think few days back the stock had crossed 150 mark, now back below that 150 levels. So even as a modest target of 150 to 153, the stock could be traded even from current levels.
Okay, point taken. Let's take some BTST ideas as well. Naresh, what's the buy today, sell tomorrow call?
So first is the buy on Sun TV. The stock has made a new 52-week high, crossing the highs made back in 2021, as well as prices last seen in 2019. So looks like a fresh trend starting up here. Expectation of a target of 650, stop loss at 625. Second is a buy on Indigo, which has followed up today's momentum. Stop loss at 2430, target price of 2520.
What about you, Kunal? What are the trades you're identifying right now?
So it will be two buy calls. The first one is a buy on Vandala. The stock is trading at a very high degree of momentum at 780 plus levels. So would look at for a buy targets of 820, stop loss at 750. Could be trailed since the stock has moved up higher. And the second would be buy on MRPL. The stock is at 99 odd levels. Again, last 2-3 days has shown very good price and volume action. So would suggest a buy with 106 as a target, stop loss at 96.
Dipan, what's been your portfolio strategy of late? In the last month or so, have you added positions anywhere or have you profit taken and keeping some powder dry?
Keeping some powder dry and waiting for the earnings seasons to start. We have got our market watch and our list completely ready. We want to see what these companies are to report for the September quarter. And if what we hear is positive, then certainly I think this correction, if the prices stay at these levels, are a good entry opportunity. Focus is on good quality businesses which have run up significantly and were not providing any margin of safety. But now this correction and hopefully positive September quarter commentary will provide some amount of safety levels to get into these stocks. So just wait and watch. I think inactivity in the stock market also is a great strategy.
About the earnings season and the commentary you're expecting on account of that, talk to me about IT. The expectations are still very weak. What's your own sense?
See, in IT, you have to be extremely selective. And really, I do hope our stocks, which we are quite positive on, the likes of Tata Elixir, Persistent Systems, Coforge, KPIT, they're able to, happiest mind you can add, they're able to sustain their growth rates and management commentary is generally positive. But, let's face it, there are challenges over there. Macroeconomic issues are not getting resolved much soon. And that certainly is going to increase the waiting period for a turnaround in IT spends. So I'd like to be a bit neutral to underweight IT and look for stock-specific, movements. Look for stock-specific outperformers rather than buy across the board in the IT sector.
Okay, it's not a buy across the sector. Thanks so much, Dipan, for making time and speaking with us. Appreciate you joining us on the show.